I'm Shawna Lee. This is Infinity Readings, and this will be the reading for Libra for the Easter spring season of 2026. Be aware my window's open, so you'll hear traffic and whatnot. So I just like the open air, fresh air in my room while I do the reading, so you will get some residual noises. So here we go, Libra. We're going to get into your energy field. I have been out of the game here for a while. I have literally been trying to stay out of the system. But nonetheless, here we go. So you've earned yourself a bonus reading by having the most views. So if you get the most views for the readings, you get a bonus reading. So here we go. The first card that we have from the above and below, I have some new cards, brought my alien cards in. I feel it's apropos. So we'll get moving. The first card, below here on the earth, how are we as a Libra? How are we getting along? How are we perceiving things? This is what this first row is gonna clue you in on. So the first card that we get for you, Libra, in that energy is 13, the Death card. So there may be an ending here that has come. You may literally be selling a home or moving home. You may be ending a job or a scenario, or again, it could be a change of location is what they're showing me. So we may be moving because of a job, because something is over, our time here is done, and we're moving forward into new energy. Yeah, so these are spirituality readings, so this might be deeper than I'm giving credit for. It may be a spiritual way of being. This may be what we're tapping into. So as we move to the next card, again, below energies, meaning the on-earth 3D perspective, we get the Eight of Swords. So I think on the 3D plane here, like when I'm saying 3D, I mean on the physical earth, those things that you can sense, well, you can touch, taste, and feel. Those things that are solid, those things, the Eight of Swords, we got a lot of burdens upon self as a sense. I feel like we've brought ourselves to a precipice here where it's unrest. And it's unrest because we're putting it upon ourselves. We're taking on too much is the sense that I'm getting, and we're feeling quite drained by it. Now, there's a lot of flittering about here. From your angelic realm. Like, let's just, look at it this way. It's almost like you're tired on the 3D earth, but there's a lot of action and movement from your inner self, if you will, or angelic self, that's trying to get you motivated to do things or help you organize things. And I feel like we're not quite connected with that part of ourselves at this point. I feel like there's an ending that has come here, and that ending has brought about a sense of burden, and I feel like we're trying to either heal through it or trying to lift it off of us, but we're unsuccessful in this Eight of Swords card. We're just feeling the weight of it, right? Just a heaviness here. The end of the cards is leading into new energy. So as we move into that card, what do we get for Libra? Five of Pentacles. Yeah. And here's the feeling of being lost and unsure, at least. Is it, and again, there's, these elves to me are a symbol of guides and whatnot being hidden from you, because we're kind of looking like we don't know where to go. And there's little sparks coming from these, the angelic realm, if you will. I'll say it that way. And they're wanting to connect with you, but we're kind of lost as to where and what to seek here. So if I were to nail this in the 3D earth, I would say that your spiritual realm, your spiritual side of you is trying to connect, but we on the physical are being quite distracted by things that are of the physical realm. We're not dipping into the spiritual realm. I feel like this Five of Pentacles is talking about being grounded in the physical realm and kind of feeling lost when it comes to the spiritual realm, right? So that means that inner self, that inner core, it's like we're trying to seek our way through this path in the woods, and we may not be connecting. I feel like we're looking, but we may not be connecting with that which can guide us forward in a greater, grander way. So This may or may not be energy of the future. It just may be where we're at right now, explaining that we're a bit lost when it comes to that spiritual side. So let's continue on here as we move into the clarification cards for these physical realms. So we started with the death card, and that's the end and new beginning. And with an ending comes a new beginning. Something has to stop in order for you to go in a new direction and start something else. I feel like this woman is putting that house up for sale for that family in order for them to move, putting the sign down, and it's official, like I'm moving. So again, you may be in the midst of a physical move. So to expand on that, bringing in the curious creature cards will expand on that death card. So what do we get from them? We get the Lover's card. Well, that's interesting. The Lover's about a deep, soulful connection with someone that may create this move. It's weird because as I look at it the second time, I feel apprehension coming from this woman in red here. And then she's got children in the background. It's like we've got a lot to worry about here. We got the husband loading the car. So he's physically doing what he needs to do. And this person here, yeah, they're making me dip into that energy. Now, we may be unsure of this move. We may be apprehensive, not want to move, or feel tied to this home or area or for some reason. But I feel like the Lover's card, yeah, it's almost like we may be moving to get closer to a lover, or or the opposite, the lover's coming to move to us, this kind of thing. There's something that changes our residence is really what I'm getting. It has to do with a partnership. And it could be a business partnership. Again, doesn't have to be love per se, but the Lover's card is about, feeling close and intimate with someone. So we're just going on that reign of energy here. As we move to this Eight of Swords, there's an energy here of that heaviness, a burden and whatnot. Now, it may be a burden for you to move away, or you may be clinging to something here that is not for your highest good, but there's an energy of needing to move past it. And it may have to do with someone who comes in here you feel a deep connection with. This isn't an energy now. It may be an energy coming in the future. Now, on top of that Eight of Swords, to expand on that energy of heaviness, what do we get? We get another Eight of Swords. Well, okay. What they're telling me is they're going, we are bound and we are unable to move into this new partnership because of something. So, okay, give me moments here. That is interesting. Yeah, we are keeping ourselves bound by carrying a burden that is really not ours to carry, is the sense they're giving me. Like we're burdening ourselves with stuff. It's like the weight is heavy and we can relieve ourselves of it. But there's a sense of not being able to do this, or not seeing how to do this, or not seeing a true path to do this, or keeping ourselves burdened just because we know no other way. That's what they said. We know no other way. So interesting, because, yeah, the timeline is shifting. Because what they're giving me is this weight is before the lover comes in, or it creates a problem because all this weight that we've taken on, and it may be family, it may be friends, it may be things that we're letting other people kind of, what's the word? Dictate what we do in our future. This is kind of what I'm getting. And we're allowing that. And it could be that, maybe we have to, this house was in the family and maybe we don't want to get rid of it for nostalgic reasons, but it's time to move on, this kind of thing. And so we take it. And again, we're just not going to know that it's a burden until we continue down this road, and we are continuing down this road. This is the sense that I'm getting. Okay. So the Eight of Swords is very, very much keeping ourselves blocked, but it is something that can be alleviated. We just may be blind to how to alleviate it ourselves. We may either need advice from somebody, or maybe we've gotten advice and refused that. There's a lot that can happen here, but the sense is that we can easily get out of this if we choose to. We just are not in a mode right now, right in the central, to remove that or maybe see it clearly at this time. So I feel like that's what keeps us lost in the future. It's like, why are we like, we can't get nowhere? Well, it's because we're staying in a stagnant zone, and we need to move into a more non-stagnant zone, but we're unwilling to do that, and that's why it's stagnant. So on top of this 5 of Pentacles, again, in the future, I do feel this is the future card. I just feel the past and present is very much mixed for people. So on top of this 5 of Pentacles, which is the feeling of being lost, like, am I where I'm supposed to be? And they're going, no, you're not. There's an opportunity that's going to open up. Again, for some people, it will open up. For some people, they've refused this door already. And for some people, it will be a bit in the future. On top of that 5 of Pentacles to expand, we get the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, is about working hard to accomplish goals, right? You've got a seamstress, like a tailor, I guess it would be. Yeah, working to create things, right? And the sense they're giving me is we can work hard and, kind of be blind to things, or we can work hard and move into this new energy. I feel like a resistance to want to go forward here is really what I feel. And it may even be in a partnership. Okay, let's move forward here and see if we can unlock. Now we're getting into my alien cards. So when I started the reading or getting prepared for the reading, I demanded that these alien cards bring about forces above and beyond the earth plane. So this is where we're coming here. So on top of that Lovers card, which is on top of the Death card, which again could symbolize a new route in the way of partnerships. What's the alien card we get there? 7 of Cups. Yeah. 7 of Cups usually symbolizes a lot of options and whatnot. And I get a lot of different energy from these alien cards. And the symbol I get here is we have many options, and they're all guided from above. And the sense is that we may be, I think our guides are trying to get us out of some sticky situations that we're just used to being in. And we're resistant because we don't know no better, right? We just don't. We're blind to certain things. That 8 of Swords is coming on heavy of the 7 of Cups. Like, these are the opposite. It's like 8 of Swords would be about feeling limited by our belief system. And the 7 of Cups is like unlimited is the feeling that I get. Got unlimited potentials and areas to go. But for the Libra, I feel like they don't feel like they can go in any particular direction. This may open up in a different way in the future, is the sense they're giving me. Because the 7 of Cups is really about opening the mind sphere. Yeah, they're setting energies for these cards, because this is a new deck for me. I was attracted to it. And there's a lot of energy coming for a fact of, like, our own thinking is really blocking us, like those orbs around our head. It's like we can have options, but if we limit ourselves and we block those options out, we're not going to have them, right? We're going to stay where we're at. And they really are urging you to move forward into new frequencies. And we may be distrustful of lovers, going forward, and this may be a problem that keeps us stuck, because if we don't trust anybody to go outward, we can't get that new energy flow. This is what they're showing me. Okay, so on top of that 8 of Swords and the 8 of Swords behind it, and the first 8 brought me to a sense of feeling very overwhelmed and burdened where we are at. And I feel like either we have yet to see an opening, or the openings that we have, we may be rejecting them on lower levels, and therefore it's like that energy can't open up fully, right? And the 8 of Swords right here with the horse being blind. And again, the horse, this is the year of the fire horse to go forward and move quickly. I feel like the Libra may feel that energy is a little too far gone. Like, they don't want to take a chance. Like, this is the year you take a chance on spontaneity and do things. And I remember saying not too long ago, don't do that to certain elements. Now they're saying, no, this is where we can be in alignment. Again, we got to be in alignment with our gut, use our discernment. We can't take that off the map and then just hope things will go. We have to be in alignment with where we're headed. And this is the time for quick action. This is the year for things to change and flip quickly. And the Eight of Swords, we're not quite understanding where we need to go. So on top of that, what do the aliens have to say? They got the Eight of Cups again. So we got 3 8s here. 7 8. So we are highly being guided, if not in a destiny way. Destined, Wheel of Fortune, fateful kind of way. The Eight of Cups is, it's wish fulfillment. The Seven of Cups is here. I feel like we're slowly being guided universally to open up to being because they're showing me being very gentle with the Libra, right? Because the Libra is, the symbol is the balance of the scales. So anything that's off balance, they can take a hard left, away from it. And we want to make sure that everything lines up, that we're really going down the right road, that we don't veer off 90 degrees in a bad way. Because the sense they're giving me is this Libra in particular would or could go off in a direction and just shut things down if it's too blatantly uncomfortable, right? And the problem here is that we have to move in an uncomfortable way because we have to explore new areas, right? It's like going to kindergarten on the first day. The kids screaming, yeah, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. But then they get there and it's like fun and they make friends and they do project, all this stuff. It's kind of like that. It's like the Libra's going, I don't want to go, I don't want to. But here's the Eight of Cups saying it could be everything you want in life, but you're holding yourself back from it. And again, healing, right? Have we healed from past lovers? This could be the major issue, but the sense here is just trepidation. I feel heavy trepidation because we have put weight upon ourselves. The sense they're giving me is like we may have made a promise to someone or somebody that we're going to look after them or whatever, or maybe we made a promise to stay in this home as long as, whatever. But maybe your time has come where you've grown from this home, you've grown from this job, you've grown from this relationship to a degree that you can't grow anymore with it. You do need to step off that platform and move forward. And this is the crux point I feel the Libra's at. So the Eight of Cups is really about wish fulfillment. And with these 3 8s right down the center, that means you are being surrounded universally, angelic realm, whatever you want, however you believe there, God, Christ consciousness, all of it, is in the mode of lining you up to move forward into where you need to be. And if you don't know where that is, and I do feel, even though the universe will line you up with that road, you still may be going a few steps down it before you realize truly in your heart center, or maybe connect to your heart center fully, where you understand exactly where you're meant to be. Because I feel like the Libra is really, I don't know if they've been dabbling or they've just been resist dabbling, or they're in their head and over analyzing, which is kind of what I get. It's like, I don't think I'm happy here. I don't think I'm happy in my job. I don't think I'm happy in, well, there's a reason. That's your barometer telling you to step off into this new energy. But there's that fear of the new energy. It's like, am I going to make a mistake? Is this going to be the worst thing I ever do in my life? If I leave this house, is it going to be, this kind of stuff? Am I going to regret it and want to go back? This is... And to a certain degree, the sense they're giving me, again, use your own discernment above mine. If you can't, because some people are in a financial position, they can't go nowhere and they have to just work that out. You have to walk yourself through that. Don't make irrational decisions no matter. But there is a line that's going to be kind of, the red carpet's going to be pulled out for you so that you go in this certain way. And you'll feel that if you're connected to your heart. Okay. As we move into the Eight of Pentacles again, all these 8s here, these 8s symbolize that energy. that infinite energy that is trying to guide you. And again, I feel a great sense of destiny coming to be here. I don't feel it's in this reading in this time, but I feel like the universe is starting to funnel you into your destiny. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, and we feel lost because we may be a little bit resistant to this funneling, but we don't know why. We don't know. And again, right, there might be some inner work that needs to be done, but nonetheless, Eight of Pentacles, what do we get from the aliens on top of there? The Three of Swords. Yeah, I feel like we may, the Three Swords really about, give me a minute here. I feel like three harsh truths is what they're making me think of, rather than heartbreak per se, but it will be heartbreaking because there's a line of three here. They're emphasizing that three, as in this is going to hurt, that's going to hurt, and so's that. It's like there's three truths that we got to realize either about ourselves or, about the world around us that we have to digest. And I feel like to a certain degree, the Libra subconsciously is aware that they got to come across a precipice here where it may be a belief system that has to go, maybe some ego factors that have to remove themselves or balance out. It may be something like this, but there's it's not going to be easy is the sense. But it's not like it's going to be, I feel like that's what's holding us back. Now, it could be it could be the house, could be the family, could be the job, these three things. Yeah, there's something here. It's almost like the sense they're giving me. Now, be careful with this energy because it ain't going to, wash for all Libras, and it may wash for like a Leo instead of a Libra. You don't know. But if you're listening to this reading and you're unsure, which is the sense that I get, you really have to search your own soul. Don't let anybody outside of you manipulate anything. And don't, see, that's the thing. They're saying that quick, fast energy is a good, but we really do have to feel internally aligned with it. And I feel like the Libra's having a hard time being internally aligned with anything at this point, is the sense I feel. And I think that's because we are removing ourselves to a certain degree. And the key is to put ourselves back into the heart zone. And, could this be from a past love that is kind of, how would you say, lined us up to shut our heart down? Could be. And is it because we need to open that heart up, maybe not in that direction, but a different direction and work forward with it? Could be. Because the sense they're giving me is there's a lot of choices we can make here, but we are not being open to those choices anymore. Now, yeah, let's just continue. Now I have the Metatron cards on top of these alien cards. So on the Seven of Cups, again, they're going to open up doorways for you. And I don't know if we're going to see those opportunities as we go forward. Or there may be a fear of going into them and losing where we are at. But where we are at is a lost feeling. That's the sense they're giving me. We are lost. And we are going to be opening the doors. I feel like the Libra above anybody else is going to really see that clearly. But we may have some, internal fear. And it has to do with feeling solid. So we may be jumping off into a career here. Again, don't use my discernment above your own. I'm reading an energy field. It may not be yours. But if it is yours, you're going to have to decide from your core where you want to go. And you have to be honest with yourself. And maybe up to now we haven't been. Now, what do we get on the Seven of Cups? All these options. We get the honeybee. Service, celebration, and sexual frenzy. Okay, so give me moments. Okay, I'm getting a full-blown scenario from this. This may be one scenario. May not be everybody's. No. The sexual frenzy always symbolizes to me like an obsessive relationship with a partner on the physical end. And that means that we may find someone we're very physically attracted to and go and buzz off in that direction. Now, this is part of the one of 7 opportunities they're going to give you to open that field. Again, use your discernment. What is for your highest good? Amen, right? So as we move into the middle, now it's starting to come together. It's like all this stuff is up in the air. I feel like the Libra has put some responsibility on themselves that's really not up to themselves. Or they've put that responsibility on themselves to a degree that even the other person is going, no, you don't have to worry about that. It's good. Where they're worrying about it and dealing with it and stressing about it and wasting energy there, where they really don't have to. They can just release from it. This is what I'm getting. Now, on the 8 of Cups, I feel like if we release that burden, right? We go into the 8 of Swords of the animal card. It's like we release that blindness. We see it for what it is. This other person we may be putting a burden upon us from another person that other person doesn't even want upon us. So why are we carrying it? This is what I'm getting, okay? The 8 of Cups is the release of that. As we go forward, we release that and we feel free of it. On top of that, we get Taurus field, revolution, and refreshment. Yeah. And that will bring about a different field because it's almost like, how could I put it? It's almost like, okay, so, you got to work tonight, whatever. And then, your friends are going out to a concert, whatever, or something, right? They're going out and you want to go, but you can't because you got to work. And then all of a sudden work calls in and said, you know what, Johnny's going to take your shift, so don't worry about it. No way. Okay, click. And then suddenly you're free to go. It's that kind of a feeling that they're giving me from this 8 of Cups, meaning you're free to do whatever. And the burden is not, even though I feel it's outside of you, like you're taking on something outside of you that is not your, I don't want to say it's your place, because you're doing it, but it's not your responsibility. You don't have to take it on, but you're taking it on, and it's a burden. And you may not realize it as a burden, right? Because you may be learning how to unburden yourself, but not realizing that, this kind of stuff. And this Taurus field, when we get into that energy, that means the rotation of the field will start to free up your energy. Because the sense I'm getting is the Libra looking around and going, I don't know where to go, what to do. And they're blocked by that. It's like they're blocking themselves by blocking themselves, if that makes any sense. But the problem is that we are putting burdens upon ourselves that are not truly ours. And if we are to free ourselves, we would feel the freedom of that. This may have to do with the unburdening of a past partnership, or one that we want to move into, that we need to unburden stuff of the past in order to get it, this kind of thing. It's like, a transfer of energy. It has to happen here. And the Taurus field is your energy field. It's your frequency that you pull out. And if you pull out burning frequency, you're not going to pull in. That's pushing energy. You got to free yourself of that so that you can bring in things. And I feel like the opportunities even are resting on this release of these burdens. Okay? So hopefully, if you're in this way, you will understand this. If not, it'll just be French. You just won't get it. So as we move forward, okay, I hope. As we go on to that, the 3 of Swords, which is quite heavy. But again, this is the severing of those truths that we've brought ourselves to listen or, obey, that really don't need obeying anymore. It's that phone call that says, you know what, you don't have to work tonight. You're free. And then the release is like, because even if you enjoy your job, you want it to go out with the friends, right? You want it to go and be with, and now you can. So you're free to do. It's like that kind of energy switch is what is needing to happen here. I feel like it does happen, but it isn't going to be easy for the Libra. at this point. And I don't say that to harbor negative energy. I'm just saying that is because that's the way we're going to look at it. It's not going to be easy switch. Now, on top of the Three of Swords, what do we get? The Egg of Life, 3D music and acceleration. Okay. Speaking of going to concerts and whatnot, I feel like absorb in your, whenever I get this 3D music card, it's like listen to the songs on the radio. Like if you go into a store and they're playing music and there's vocals, listen to what is literally being said. That will give you a hint. That'll be a cheat code. The universe will give you what they want you to look at, what they want you to see, or if you're in the right mode or if you're not. They will give you these modes. But be careful because the dark side's also there as well. Just kick out the dark stuff and go with what makes your heart sing, right? If it makes you happy, if it makes you dark, you resist that. You go in the better form of this. So I feel like the universe is going to speak to you through the music that you play. Now, again, not you in charge of it, but when you go to places and then it's beaming, where the universe, how would you say? Yeah, just allow the universe to speak to you through the music that is in your atmosphere. So if you go into the grocery store and a song's playing, listen to the lyrics. If you get in your car and you're running to get some groceries, what's playing on the radio at that exact moment? What are the lyrics? Not necessarily what, but listen to those lyrics. And then do you have a feeling about whether that's a good or a bad thing for you? Do you resonate with that? Does it resonate with your life? Is it synchronistic with what's going on right now? These are opportunities that you could be missing. And maybe that's what's going on. Maybe the Libra's tapped out a little bit in life and they need to tap back in to their guidance system. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Now, yeah. This is spirituality side, so I won't go into that sexual frenzy stuff. And if it's heavy, it'll come out in the love readings on Rumble anyway. So yeah. Okay, your last card is from the Astrology Tarot to overview. And these ones were good. I don't know if I did them in the energy report or the last. I think I did them in the love readings. And they were very profoundly connective. Like they pulled the reading together. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to use them again in the spirituality side and see what happens. So the card that we get for you, Libra, is the Water Day. And forgive me, I got to read here from the book because I'm not quite sure. But it kind of expands on other cards in the tarot. The key words here for Water Day is sensitive, caring, peace-loving, harmonious, imaginative, and creative talents. Like just looking at this, right? It's soothing, and that's the sense I get here. But anyway, what it has to say is the water trickles down a gentle stream, making a harmonious sound and delighting all the senses. This is the energy of the card and of any person indicated by it. If it is a person, it is someone who is in touch with their feelings. They're wise, peace-loving, and in tune with others. Sensitive, sympathetic, and kind-hearted. You can rely on them to be a good listener and to give great advice. Water Day may also indicate a highly imaginative woman with creative gifts and talents. This can also represent a mature woman in your life with these characteristics, or it can refer to these qualities in your own character. In terms of situations, this card advises you to take a step back and perhaps even use a vacation to think on a matter instead of going for a quick decision. See, it's conflicting because the year, right, of 2026 is about quick actions that could lead to great, wonderful things, unseen to the eye, right? That's the essence they're giving me. But here, and I was getting that conflict, but I was getting pulled more to lead you to go into these areas. But again, not without the research kind of thing is the sense. So yeah, you may, Libra, as an air sign, right? Because this is very much a fire year. So that is very quickly It's going to go by quickly, 26 years, but it's going to be it's not going to be boring. It's going to be a lot of firecrackers going off. Things are going to be going off all over the place. And then 27 will be a year where we can actually rest from some of the stuff that we've made action on. But how can I express? Am I chewing on my words here too much? But the sense that they're giving me is to, like, certain people, they got to use their instinct, and the Libra is more of a slower paced. That this year is going to go by so fast and kind of like a whirlwind, spin the Libra around. But if the Libra decides to plant their feet and they decide to sit and think, they can flow in that fire element quite well. The problem here is the Libra is spinning. That's what I get. They're spinning in circles. They're allowing other people to feel and sense. And again, we need to wash things over people, but we want to make our own decision based on our own emotions. We don't want to allow someone else to come in and make our decisions. Because sometimes, you can get someone who's happy-go-lucky come in and say, well, why don't you do this? And you go, yeah. And you kind of get caught up in their energy, and then you go back and you do that, and it may be the wrong thing. I don't think we will naturally get ourselves caught up in this. I think we're able to make that decision. We just have to allow ourselves to not get caught up in other people's energy to a degree where we make decisions outside of ourselves. And this is hard translation if you're not really spiritually inclined, because if you're not a spiritual person, you're just really not going to take note of any of this underlying stuff. You're just going to go here, go there, left, right, blah, blah, blah. And if you want to deal with that energy, talk to an Aries. And you may have some water elements coming in. And if you get advice from a water element, you're probably going to get some sound advice for you. Not for them, how they think you should be, but for you, how they instinctively think you should go. And they may even be guided to tell you that. So, I don't know, look for that. Look for some water friends, or hopefully you have some water friends, meaning Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. These are people that naturally live on the deeper elements of life, right? So they're going to give you a deeper core answer as to where they think you should go. Again, not for their... they're not coming from their own perspective. They're coming from where they think you would. There's an empathy there with the water. So, I don't know, maybe you have some water elements around you, or maybe you don't. Maybe you need some nurturing people around you in order to come up with this idea. But I think the universe is alongside of you, trying to push you and nudge you in certain ways. And just don't be resistant to the communications, and just be careful with the decisions you make. Just don't make a decision that your emotions aren't involved in. That would be, I guess, the most sound advice here. Maybe don't make a decision based on logic alone without taking your intuition into account, because we really do have to satisfy that emotional center for longevity. We want things to work out on the other end of this. I feel like someone is making a huge decision, whether it's a move, a job change, like one of these. Make sure you emotionally feel good about it. And then, does it make logic sense, right? If it's illogical, we're going to throw it out. But we have to kind of have the emotions have to be in with this. We have to emotionally feel good about it. If we don't, take your time to work this out. But the egg of life is here, and they're basically saying your shortcuts are going to be infused through music. The universe is going to speak to you musically through phrases and stuff that they spit out. And again, it could be very synchronistic. So take that into account. Just take it in and think about it. Isn't that weird how I felt like I have to make a decision, and then there's this song telling me about how to make decisions and blah, blah, blah. There may be hints in there, or there just may be hints to direct you to go inside more. This kind of thing. So it's a very deep reading. I hope I expressed it properly for the Libra. But nonetheless, yeah, we have a life-changing situation coming to be. We have a bit of a emotional burden that we have to release in order to see the opportunities coming in. And once we release that, they will become like pow, 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 pow. That's what I get. It's like we will see them clear. I feel like we're in a stagnant area at this point, and we really need some influence outside of us, but yet we're guided to go internally. It's a lot of huge contradictions here. It's like, use your own discernment, but go out and fraternize with people. And then it's like, be cautious of who you come across, but be open to, this is what I'm getting. So it's very hard for the Libra to do that, because I think part of their soul is wanting to just stay quiet. But again, there's some kind of a burden here emotionally that we need to release. And once we do that, then everything will just come rushing in. And I can't give you that, because for each person it's going to be different, but it's really a heavy weight that we just need to release. And for some reason, we don't see that clearly. But, the universe is working with you to see that and uncover that. So hopefully that happens for you. Okay, Libra, sorry I was quite lengthy in certain areas here. That is your reading for the Easter spring season of 2026. So if you're wanting more readings for the love side, go into Rumble. I will put my links below, and we'll see if we can find you some music for these videos here to accentuate. And because you have 3D music and whatnot as your end card, just sit in a appreciative state where we are not, in conflict. Sit in a graceful position and listen to the music and see if something doesn't stick out, or, certain phrase sticks out, or it just hits you emotionally and reminds you of something of the past. Allow these things to happen, because they will give you the clues needed in order to see clearly. And I feel like if you go on this train of music, they're going to spell it right out for you. And I've had that happen myself. It's like, what am I not seeing? I go to bed the night before and it's like, you guys, I am not seeing, because they don't explain everything. You got to work yourself through it. You can't just ask for an answer and get it. And, I remember having, and then I wake up the next day and, you just kind of forget about what you prayed about last night. And then you go out and you get in your car and you sit and you turn on the radio, and then all of a sudden that first sentence, it's like the whole sentence was an answer to the question I asked the night before. And it's like, are you kidding me? And I'm going, that's the question. And even me, knowing how I get all this information, I still am boggled. It's like, are you kidding me? That answered that question. And then I'll disregard it because, you get in this 3D mode where you don't want to accept things. And that's, I think, part of the burden is lifting off the 3D earth a little bit and allowing all of this frivolous. Some people think it's frivolous. Some people think it's a waste of time. Some people think it's a waste of energy. Prayer is never a waste of energy. It goes somewhere. And it's like that on many, many levels, thinking levels, emotional levels, mood levels, right? So anyway, Libra, I feel if you were someone I knew, I would sit you down and we would have coffee for a while and talk about theories and everything mind-blowing, because it's almost like we just need to be shaken up a bit from the reality and, allow the magical universe to interact, because then we would just see it all so clearly. We're just bogged down with the 3D, and we need to kind of loosen up a bit and raise our vibration. Really, we're getting manipulated, I think, energetically. So don't take that too serious, but you know what I mean. We're really just getting trained to do things that we just are not for our highest good. So, Libra, that is your reading for the spirituality side of things. Take care, have fun, and be kind, and we will talk to you soon.